Croissant, this is James, aka JP Harker, just doing a quick video of my Christmas haul. Now, some of these I don't actually know enough to talk about, so we're going to keep this brief. A friend of mine from work who has good reading taste recommended this, the Belgariad, and so I asked for Christmas, oh, could somebody get me book one? And my sister very kindly got me these three. So I do hope that it does turn out to be good, because otherwise she's wasted some money. So I shall be starting that in the new year. I'm not sure when. It's by David Eddings, and I was tempted to listen to this one on Audible, because I've been doing that with a couple of books. But I made the mistake of doing that a while ago with sort of an epic fantasy, and I thought, maybe I'm not engaging with it enough by just listening to it. Maybe I need to be able to check back and things like that. So these I'll definitely be reading the physical copies. I accidentally wound up with these. I had bought this book for my father for Christmas because we've got similar tastes, and by coincidence I was bought it as well by my wife, who also knows my taste, so that was quite a nice surprise. It is The Sun in Splendor, a novel of Richard III, by Sharon Penman. I saw this on Instagram doing the rounds, and The Sun in Splendor, for them as don't know, was the coat of arms used by Richard's brother, who became King Edward IV. And as a bit of a Ricardian, I am curious about this, because Richard III, as most people know, gets quite a bad reputation. I was ranting about that a little bit when I was reading, I don't know, I've probably burned it by now, when I was reading The History of Richard III by Thomas More, which is just awful. So yes, I'm told this is a sympathetic tales of the point of view of Richard, and I do look forward to it, because the historical Richard, especially from what we know of him pre-becoming king, pre the Shakespearean play, back when he was fighting for his brother, it's all positive. It's only suddenly when we have all this nephews in the tower malarkey that he becomes a villain. And we have the whole Hunchback thing where there's nothing contemporary about it. It's only after his death, because it's only after people would have seen him with his shirt off and shown the scoliosis. And I could go on about Richard for a while, so I'm not going to. Long story short, I think this looks very promising. I've seen some positive things about it on the Instagram. Looking forward to it. By the same author, and this one I had asked for, so fairly large coincidence, by Sharon Penman as well, is When Christ and His Saints Slept. Again, for them as don't know, it's a reference to the anarchy, which was during the time of Empress Maud and King Stephen battling it out for the English throne. Matilda, aka Empress Maud, because she married the Holy Roman Emperor, had been named as the heir by her father, Henry I, but partly because she was a woman, partly because apparently she was insufferably arrogant, the various barons of England didn't like that idea and just handed the throne to Stephen of Blois after the White Ship disaster that killed off the Atheling. And it's a period of history that I'm interested in, but haven't learned that much about. I know it's where the Cadfael books take place, I know a bit about Stephen, but mainly I know it as the backstory to the Plantagenets, because I've read quite a bit about Henry II, who, spoiler alert, becomes King of England after all of this. And his early history interested me, and I thought, well, I'll look back a bit further. I'd heard about this author from The Sun in Splendor, and I thought, I like the look of this, I'll give this a crack. So yes, I do look forward to it. It's a hefty bit of reading, and I do have a lot to get through. But yeah, I do look forward to that one. I still haven't finished William Marshall, but this one, high on the list. And finally we have a Christmassy one that I've dipped into a little bit, as you can see from my bookmark, and I'll probably dip into a little bit more, and that is J.R.R. Tolkien's Letters from Father Christmas, which, again, I got for Christmas, and it's really lovely to read. It's sort of what it says on the tin. Tolkien used to write letters from Father Christmas to his children, a bit like how The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, as his children grew up, the books grew up, as the children grew up, we have more complicated letters. It's not just having fun at the North Pole. We have the character of the North Polar Bear getting into trouble, and we have goblins fighting in the tunnels. And you have sort of these images of the originals, but you're not having to, like with some medieval manuscripts, you're not having to try and decipher the writing. They've typed it out as well. And yes, it's not particularly educational or deep, but see, look at that. But it's just a lovely book to read, and it's the sort of thing that I think, yeah, I would probably do this when I have children now. It's just a really nice thought. So yes, I shall be going through that and recommend it as a Christmassy read. And that's it. That's what I got for Christmas book-wise. I did also get What If, but I'm going to be going into that in another video because I read that pretty much straight away. So I'll talk about that then. Right, I'm keeping my videos short, as you know, because the camera is being a wee bit awkward. So I'll sign off with that. This is James, aka JP Harker. Well,